Give me a minute and let's talk about Yulia Navalnaya, who is the wife or perhaps the widow of Alexi Navalny, who, according to the prison system in Russia, passed away today at 2:17 p.m. local time, just up above the Arctic Circle there in the gulag he's been locked up in. Mrs. Navalny doesn't believe it. Now, that's either the denial of a grieving widow or it's the cool cynicism of someone who's dealt with Russia and their constant lies for her whole life and has been victimized by those lies more than once. There is no doubt this could potentially be a psychological kind of torture to give the impression that Alexei Navalny is gone so that there is no rallying point for the opposition ahead of March 17th's elections in Russia. And then suddenly after the election, oh, we made a mistake, wrong guy. Now, assuming for a moment that it's true, what are the reactions around the world? Joe Biden, President of the United States, Donald Tusk, President of Poland, David Cameron, the defense minister for the UK, all pointedly blamed Putin for this man's passing. And well, they should. Kamala Harris, who is at the Munich summit with Mrs. Navalny, and perhaps more sympathetic to her since they are together, said, we are waiting and trying to get confirmation from the Russians on this. Mrs. Navalny, for her part, had to make the decision. Should she stay at the Munich conference representing the Russian opposition to the global leadership, or should she go home to her children? And she said she would do exactly what her husband would want her to do, and she would stay and fight. No matter what you think of Alexei Navalny's politics, because he was no friend to Ukraine, let's be clear. He was a voice of opposition inside Russia. He did, after being poisoned by the Kremlin, went back to Russia to fight again. And that's something that has to be respected, I think. Also, there is the reality that he legitimately represented change. Yes, he was still a Russian imperialist. Yes, he still thought Crimea should be Russian. But he fought corruption inside the system. And that voice is now silenced, or may well be silenced forever. And nobody should suffer the torture, the poisoning, the theft of your business, and the theft of your freedom simply because you disagree with the dear leader. And that's what we see in this. Americans better wake up, because this is who you're cheering when you cheer for Donald Trump. He's the same person. He would do to Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden what Putin did to Alexei Navalny. And that is not a world we want to live in. It's just not. Grow up, America. Grow the fuck up. And stand up. Your elected representatives who are Republicans, goddamn Republicans, stand up and take your party back from this insanity. Your House of Representatives, your Congress people are home right now. You're a Republican, you're a Reagan Republican, a Bush Republican. You understand the threat that Russia is to us. And you look around and you see the MAGA crowd cheering Putin and you do nothing about it? You don't stand the fuck up and say, hey, Congressman, vote for that aid for Ukraine. Vote for that aid for Israel. Vote for that aid for Taiwan. Let's fight the communists, for Christ's sake. Get it together, people. Your reps are home for the next 2 weeks. Make some fucking noise at their offices. Let them know that they are on the wrong side of history. If your plan has Putin cheering for you, you're on the wrong side of history.